What up, everybody? It's your boy Adrian. We're back here again to talk some more Michigan football news and notes, because it seems since over these last 3 months, since Sharon Moore was fired and Kyle Whittingham getting hired and everything, we talked about the roster retention changes, coaching staff, but we got some more changes, and it just keeps getting rehauled, and that is the Michigan personnel department getting overhauled, as it seems. Now, as we know, with the landscape of college football, you've been having to bring GMs in with the landscape of NIL and having guys budget the money and make sure it goes in the right places and how you're going to play players, et cetera, et cetera. So you got to have a lot of guys on staff for that. And a new key role has been the GM role, college football, and these guys are making a ton of money. But in 2024, Michigan brought over Sean McGee from the Chicago Bears, who's previously with Michigan from 2017 to 2021. But then he left, came back, Michigan's first ever GM, and that means he did a lot of things like roster retention, meeting with the families, and trying to figure out how to divvy up the money. And he was very crucial in getting Bryce Underwood to flip from LSU in 2025. Also, fundamentally helped set up the NIL collective for Michigan, which is called the Champion Circle, which they have generated and brought in a lot of money. Spent a lot of money. He's done a great job in those 2 years that he was able to get it up and help maintain the 25 class and keep that 26 class in the fold. But Kyle Whittingham felt like he needed to go in a new direction. Also, with that being said, his potential replacement, one guy I've heard, I'm not too familiar with him, I'm going to read his name off, is former Utah GM Robert Bleachin, who worked with Utah previous 12 seasons. He worked in player personnel. He worked in the front office for Utah. So, I mean, it's a familiar name. It's a familiar name with Kyle Whittingham, and you can see he's like to bring in familiar guys and guys that he knows. So we'll see what happens. I'll have to keep you guys stay tuned on that, who ends up replacing him, because that's going to be crucial, because we know, like I said, a GM is a crucial role of building these rosters and keeping these rosters together, because you got to money talks, man, unfortunately. Also, more shakeup in the personnel department. Sam Popper, who's the director of football recruiting, is out at Michigan as well, and he today took the assistant GM job at San Diego State. And then also Albert Karshnia, he graduated from Michigan in 2015, was with the program for a long time. He was the director of player personnel, and then also Kaylee Johnson was a director of on-campus recruiting, is also gone too. So, like I said, they are getting rehauled in the personnel department. And also, I know it's because Kyle probably wants to get familiar with his guys, and I thought some of those guys were going to stay and they were working on it, but I've heard some things like contracts had to get reworked, and also has something to do with the fact that Michigan is still undergoing investigation from a firm that the school was able to hire for the athletic department investigation over the years with all the scandals and things. But we'll keep you up to date on that. I think Kyle wants to wipe the slate clean and get a completely fresh start. And also, some recruiting news. We already know it never stops. So 27 classes underway. Michigan had three recruits right now, but I'm talking about two to committed. Tristan Dare, interior offensive lineman out of South Lake Carroll, out of the Dallas, Texas area, and then also Louis Esposito, former Michigan coach Louis Esposito, who took the Baltimore Ravens job. He's still committed. And now the biggest fish in the pond was Michigan was having their quarterback for the 27 class, Peter Bork, QB, 6'4", 195 pounds, 4-star, number 91 according to Rivals on 3, and the number 8 quarterback in the country out of the state of Massachusetts at Tabor Academy. He has decommitted from Michigan. Now he's reaffirmed his commitment over these last few months with Michigan, even after the coaching change and even after Coy Detmer Jr., Kyle Whittingham, and coaching staffs meeting with him. But he felt like it was in his best interest to reopen recruitment and reevaluate this. There's nothing wrong with that. Shout out to a kid doing anything. He could always come back to Michigan, but you got to reevaluate things. And even before he committed, even during the time he was committed, Penn State was coming out hard after him when James Franklin was there, and now Virginia Tech as well, because James Franklin's at Virginia Tech. And I think those are the two biggest schools to keep an eye on. Can Michigan retain them? Yeah. So they're going to have to do their due diligence, and they haven't reached out to any quarterbacks while it's committed, but they're going to do that. But you got to do your due diligence. Recruiting is a long time away, and now with the sped up calendar and how things are going, the main time guys commit are in the springtime and summertime, right before the season is starting, right before their senior years. So we'll see. There's a lot of time left, and Michigan still can get this 27 class together. And a lot of this stuff is going to see how spring Spring ball is going to go for the team and how the 26 season looks, but I think they're going to do a good job of recruiting Chills. Like I said, it's so early. So Michigan fans, don't freak out about this. But hey, just want to give you guys an update. So I thought, hey, it's your boy Adrian. Appreciate your love. Peace.